everybody. Welcome to the Transparency. Again, hope you guys are having a great night. I love the summer. The days, they're all just Fridays. So again, hopefully you guys are having a good one. What is up? Your questions, my answers if I have anything. And then we'll get right to the 25-minute pre-record and followed up with, it's like a 3-part, so it's like a total of, I don't know, it's 60 minutes, 63 minutes or something like that. So again, hello, what is up, guys? Good evening. Hello. Yeah, a lot of things being dumped as far as the there's new documents for you guys. So I'll be doing on Sunday night, going over those. You already know my questions, Liana. I know some of you guys, I got your emails. Deep dive in over there in Moscow, Idaho. We got some questions about, the Dutch coffee. We got questions about Mad Greek. And people were asking me questions about, what was it? Did I see the video about the guy that was in the hotel room? So, yes, I have. And I think once you guys see the beginning part of the new timeline that I think is more accurate with, the PCA has, there's speculation in the PCA, okay? So it works both ways, though. You can speculate, you can have circumstantial evidence, things like that with some of the stuff. But I think the big thing is the car. As far as when it's coming to that PCA, it's getting Brian Kober over to Moscow and having him in that white car, and how does he get there, and can they track him? And because they don't have any signs of him going into this house, that's what it boils down to. I believe they have a ton of footage from those Ring apartments or the Ring cameras in that area, and there's just no Brian Kober. So you see all these other people on cameras, but there's no Brian. So I think that's a problem. Where exactly do they say found the sheath, left or right side? They said looking from the door, it was on her right side. Heather, one dimple. I just want you to say my name. Back at you, Shug. What is up? That's funny. Greetings live from New Zealand. Welcome. Oh, wow. Wanda Turner, you're so sweet to gift memberships. Yes, thank you. Again, hopefully you guys are doing great. Hot Ham Radio. Love to see Hot Ham up in this beat. Hot Ham needs to start DJing the pregame. Thank you guys. I want to appreciate. I do know that there was somebody that is so thirsty for my bath water that they're impersonating me. I have reported it. So, but thank you guys for letting me know that. You guys are too sweet. Yeah, Lee. Yep, that's exactly right. You're gonna know who's calling you. You're definitely gonna know who's calling you. I mean, I could see you getting like some like random Facebook messages. But nowadays, if you're not friends with somebody on Facebook, it goes to like some, other folder, and that's like Instagram too, and you gotta like go searching for that. What is up? No change no more. Is there a Snapchat thread floating out there somewhere from the 13th? 100. Okay, so how do you guys feel about that new Snapchat But after, the big thing that I think is amazing about that is that it was after the defense had already brought and raised questions about Brady, Giglio, and then making a statement that they believe that Bethany had exculpatory evidence for the defendant, and then boom, they want more Snapchat. They want to take it back all the way until June. They do June because the first dump of Snapchat was August 1st until November 20th. Because they put in for the search warrant on November 21st, they get it back on November 29th. And they then want that next dump of Snapchat from June 22nd to August 1st. And I do know that people were moving in and moving out in June and July and August. And when I say that, I'm talking about the King Road house. I'm trying to pinpoint when everybody moved out and when everybody moved in. As far as somebody stalking that house, you'd want to know, like, you're paying attention to who lives there. For two accounts, not the victims or BK. Good evening, everyone. You know, all these pings in the area by his phone. Couldn't that be him logging into their Wi-Fi? You guys have to remember that. Are you talking about when, like, all these different times? The 12 pings? No, the 12 pings, guys, it's off of the towers. Those pings are so, like, that's any phone. That's any house that's normally uses that tower. I thought they did want BK's Snapchat. They wanted the girls as too. Like I said, I'm going to go over all those new documents on Sunday. Bang them out. I'm also looking forward to having some new blood on the channel with some defense attorneys. So we're going to start breaking down the case on, procedures and, what if you were defending Brian Kober, how would you go about things? What can we expect? What do these documents mean? Things like that. So now it goes into like you're strategizing for how you're going to defend your client. And I think that this is going to be moving to Boise. We'll see. Oh, I really love seeing you stand your ground against anyone who may be attempting to make you sway your opinions, beliefs in this case. Stand your ground. Your questions are legitimate. Oh, hell yeah, all day. That's always going to be me. Adam Kale. Adam, you crazy. No, I think Ann's going to do just fine. I got you on that research, though. I mean, I know a lot about the case. I can get you that research. But so what I'll be revealing over the next couple of days here is what I believe is the timeline, and there's going to be some new stuff that I really focus in on. And I think I'm going to be hashtagging Nancy Grace because I feature her clip in this first one, and I basically answer her question. So I'm going to see if she has anything to say about that. Well, I can tell you this, Corey. The police didn't even think that Brian Kober did it. So that's what I can tell you, is that for 7 months or 7 weeks, nobody was arrested for this crime of 4 homicides. So if he was so just damn guilty and it was so damn obvious, why did it take him 7 weeks to arrest him? Let's see. Lana, do you think that the 2 warrants for AT&T and the Snapchat warrant with similar timeframes are for burner phones used by DM and BF over the summer, hence the 2 redacted? I'm looking into a couple of different things with that, but I'll have my answer for you on Sunday. That's what I can tell you. I think what should be more interesting to people is how much that they've still been doing, since the arrest of Brian, since they arrested him. All the stuff that they've been doing. So like they're still like doing the case, you know what I mean? And that's what's interesting. And I think that that's important. Yes, Brent, his case should be open. I mean, he was just shot. I mean, there's no report. I mean, it's just all the circumstances around that is just wild. Wonder what's on that. You guys, a lot of people think that it's the burner phone. Wonder what's on that burner, aka Papa Rogers. Brent Kapaka pulled the tower dumps. He gave us everything drone footage. That's what Justice says. We'll see. Whoever was gifting those memberships, right there. Thank you. Lana, did you notice the secret wall? I've heard about it. Did anyone ever find out who arrested on January 12th in King County? It was on the scanner. The caller, his girlfriend, said that it was the color of Idaho plates. I honestly believe this is a drug case and the leader is out there. Well, I think that you guys are going to like the first half of this show then. I think that if you believe what Kim and Dave are saying, and if you believe what they're saying, then you have to give some credence to this whole everything to do with drugs. And we all know that drugs are on college campuses. It's nothing new. So, but if you're going to believe that there is value in what Dave and Kim have said and continue to say, and I actually just talked to Dave today, then that's a big part of the story of why people would be going over there, things like that. What that house was, people, hey, we're not going to do this in our sorority house or our frat house. We'll go over to King and party for a little bit and then come back. Not saying that people didn't do it in their sorority or fraternity house, but I'm just saying that off campus, right across the street, very accessible, walkable, drivable. So, and it seemed like people were coming and going at all hours. Thanks, B. Appreciate it. Oh, I'm listening. My brain is pounding right now. I'm sorry about that. I don't believe hearsay. Receipts, please. Well, hopefully we can get that. You know, I still don't know if that's even someone asked. If you're, in your opinion, Lana, why do you think BK asked, was anyone else arrested? It seems odd to ask that unless you know something. Well, I don't know that he did. That has never been confirmed by any law enforcement. That was spoken by News Nation, Brian Enton. So I really don't have a comment on that because that didn't come from law enforcement. Any thoughts on the new audio? It's definitely not new. That audio is definitely not new. That audio was way from a long time ago, and I have no comment on that audio. You can't really make out anything on that audio, in my opinion. Now that's something I'm interested in. I noticed Demetrius posted every day on Twitter except November 13th and 14th. Interesting. My theory is he was asking if any of his family had been arrested other than himself. That could be interesting. I mean, that's interesting. All right, let's take a look here, guys. Ready? Emma name and audio. I can't make it out. So send me your version. But what I have, I can't hear that. No clue how you can read all these comments. I'm just trying to snag them as they come. Trust me, on my end, I don't get to see them all. It's woo woo woo. All right. Let's see. I do want to give a shout out to Chronicles of Olivia. True Crime Design. WSU. Kim, Dave. Who else did I do in this one? Thanks, C. Lana, you have a more pleasant demeanor than other live streams. Just saying. Yeah, I mean, I guess people don't even understand what a debate is. We told you at the beginning that, like, me and Daniel are doing this, and he's playing devil's advocate with everything that I'm putting out. So, like, it's going to be combative. Like, that's the whole point of what a debate is. And it's my information that I'm putting out and presenting, so I have to explain that. But thank you. Okay. If I'm not sure if New Orleans lady is in here. If she is, I hope she's having a good night. Same with Mod Squad Boston, Maple Bee, Bella, Bumblebee, Keepa will be in your prayers. Her little doggy died, so. And then any of you guys going through any rough things, we're going to keep you in our prayers as well. Hot Ham Radio, JJ and Floydie, much love. All right, guys, check it out. If you guys got a glimpse of the trailer earlier, the beginning part features that with some additive stuff. So here you go. Like I said, it's about 25 minutes.
We begin with breaking news out of North Idaho.
Just a moment ago, Moscow police confirmed 4 people were found dead in a home.
Xana Kernodle. Ethan Chapin. Madison Logan. So Bailey Gonçalves. They shared everything. They came here together. They eventually get into the same apartment together. And in the end, they died together.
Let me get the names exactly right here. We know that Xana and Ethan were at a different party on campus.
On September 12th, there was a vandal alert that was sent out about a potential stabbing threat on Paradise Path. Does this have any connection with what we've seen so far?
Not that we know of it, but we're following everything.
Roommates who lived at that residence. Were the roommates home at the time of the attack?
There was other people home at that time, but we're not just focusing just on them, we're focusing on everybody that may be coming and going from that residence.
So since they were home, was it a hostage situation? And then did...
No, it was not.
They didn't call it into police,
and
so
then
were
did...
they injured? They didn't call it into police, so were they injured?
No one that we're not going to talk to. There's no one we're not going to interview. There's no one that we're not going to look into. And we're going to do our due diligence. We're going to make sure that nothing goes undone.
I know you said when the call came in, it was for an unconscious person, and also that was a stabbing. It seems, just from an outside perspective looking in, like that would be not the first thing a person calling in would think.
You're right. But the report that we got was that it was an unconscious individual. It wasn't until our officers arrived on scene, went in to do caregiving check on the individual who was unconscious, that we found the scene that we found.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Heather Roberts with ABC News. Just to follow up on what she asked, so the other two roommates were there at the time of the attack?
All the information that we have from our investigation is that yes, they were.
Okay, but they were unhurt.
That is correct.
So is there any explanation as to why it took so long then for someone to call 911? You have surviving witnesses to an incident at 3 or 4 in the morning, and the 911 call didn't come until noon?
I don't think I ever said that they were witnesses. I said they were there. So, you know, we don't know why that call came in at noon and not in the middle of the night. Would have we loved for that to have happened? Yes, but that's not how it took place. So that's why we're investigating everything still to try to pull all the pieces together.
Were they one of the people, were they the 911 caller?
At this point in time, I'm not going to divulge who our 911 caller is, just because I want to keep the integrity of the investigation at this point, okay?
Okay, and last question.
Investigation, but believe investigators could be missing the mark.
Imagine if you're a parent and you have pertinent information to this, like that dog, and you're asking me to just shut up. It's not going to happen. I'm going to find a microphone and I'm going to talk to it and I'm going to tell people this is important, whether it helps solve the case or not. How can you eat that? How could you suppress that? Something you know could help your child and help everyone in that house find justice. But you can't force them to ask you the question.
Christy Gonzalez speaks about what she believes happened in the early morning hours of November 13th.
And went in very methodical. I think he really thought it out. I think he was quick. I think it was quiet, and he got in.
Again, thank you guys for all being here tonight. On November 13th, the Buccaneers battled the Seahawks. This game would be held in Germany. Those of you guys that are obsessed with Mad Greek, Germany featured that game. It was a night game in Germany. However, it was a 6:30 a.m. kickoff on the West Coast. 9:30 for those on the East Coast.
We are not going to go to bed and wait for other people to resolve a family problem. This is a family problem. And
This isn't just
both
a family
those girls
problem.
are our girls, and we are not, I'm not handing over. I thought about it. I thought, like, here, just take care of my family and make sure that you find the right guy. And I eventually got to a point where I said, you know what? My family, we're all G's. We call ourselves G's because nobody can pronounce our name. We are not going to sit here and let somebody else do a job that we can't add value to.
And you guys have added value. I mean, you, Olivia, found the Twitch video that actually solidified the timeline.
We watched the ring video that showed them pulling up, and we're like, that's them, it's 1:56, that's what time they got home, and there's the car leaving, and yeah.
So we're working.
And I have my phone, Kaylee's phone is my phone, so we saw all the calls that she had made, and we with an exact time. And
I reached out to every person she called. I had them send screenshots of the communications that had happened on that day, of texts with my sister, of the call with my sister, how long was your phone conversation with her, just to do whatever I could in those first few hours, because unfortunately by the time we even found out, they've been gone for more than 12 hours.
What America needs to know, we have a moment in time to make an impact, do our due diligence, listen to what people are saying, write down deep notes, and you can be a part of solving it and work on it. Anyone who thinks that one officer or one department can do this alone, 4 people, they're crazy.
Yeah.
This takes the whole community. This takes all of us to solve. We can't put this on one man, one officer, one police person, one deputy, one sheriff. We have to all come together and say, you know what, this is on us. Are we gonna let these people exist and go undetected? Or are we all gonna come together and say, this is enough? We are gonna stomp this guy out of our community. And I'm telling you right now, we're coming for you.
Yeah.
You're going to get stomped out.
Yeah. I feel like America is being
Explain all the things that they did.
Yeah, they Ubered out together. They only went to known locations that they had been before. They had a private driver. I apologize. There was a private driver that they had actually used before, so they knew him. They had a relationship with this individual.
As a family member, he really helped us. He heard us on the phone.
Yeah.
He's a great person.
Good people. And then we only went to known locations with known people. Traveled only together on well-lit, known streets to get food before taking a private ride from the same individual who picked them up home to go eat after a night of drinking, being 21, Ubered home with your friend, and then going to bed.
Everything the way that you tell your kid to go.
Yeah.
Don't be 2 girls all by yourself. Have somebody there that can walk with you. Everything was perfect. Everything was good. All the way up to where they went to bed and went to sleep. And that I can't control. As a family, we can't control what happens when you go to sleep. That's us as society. We have to determine when you let these people be out here. And do whatever they did. Sneak into a house, whatever it was. Allow that to be okay. Because we all go to bed at night.
Yeah, what was their flaw? They didn't have a nanny cam? No. What could they have done to be more safe?
Locked the door perfectly.
Yeah. It's Moscow, Idaho. It's safe.
I wonder about the doors because Kaylee was a door locker. She told me
That's not what society's doing. You don't say,
The phone call that Gonzalez family received on November 13th was one they'll never forget.
we're watching football.
One-ish, and we were
like
watching
every
football.
family, or a lot of families on Sunday.
And
We're
then
watching
our
football.
son was here. Everybody was home except for she was down at her home
We
in LA.
gather on
And
Sunday.
my niece called me and she was freaking out and she said, Christy, have you talked to Kaylee? And I said, yesterday, you know, like last night. And she said, something bad happened to Kaylee. Something bad happened. And she was just bawling. And I said, well, what do you mean? What do you mean? And she said, I think Kaylee's dead. And I said, well, what do you mean? And she
all
said,
our stomachs just dropped.
She said there was somebody just called me and they live down there. And she said there was a party last night and somebody went in and shot the party up and Kaylee was shot. I was like, what? And I just threw my phone. I started screaming. I started telling everybody to call Olivia and to get all her roommates on the phone. And I started calling Maddie, and Maddie wouldn't answer, and I said, no, this can't be, because Maddie would have called me. If Kaylee was shot last night at a party, Maddie or Jack would have called me. Like, no, and I called Kaylee, and it went straight to voicemail. I was calling Maddie, I was calling Jack, it was ringing. I turned on the TV, and I saw it said 1122 King Road. Like, Kaylee's car was in the driveway, Maddie's car was in the driveway, but it was saying an unconscious person. And we're saying, okay.
So the earliest that Christy could have ever seen that news break was at 5 p.m., period. So Christy couldn't have called Kaylee, Maddie, and Jack and then turn on the TV just after 1 or 1:30.
It seems like I think the sorority sister might have stayed at my daughter's house or not, but knew at 8:30 and there was a narrative discovered and built, and two people who are really important to the case I don't think they did it. I think they thought it was a shakedown. I do not think any student did it.
Right.
But I think that they all
nobody
know
told you
far
that,
more
right? That's
than they're
something
saying.
that when it comes to the shakedown stuff.
Well, I know
that's
that
not something that your daughter
well,
told you
the
that she
shakedown
thought it was a
stuff. Oh
shakedown.
no, that I was told. No, I was told that.
You were told what? How? When were you told that?
It was a drug house that they were there. The creeper was there, and there were people there.
Okay. Well, hold on.
1, 2,
who
3,
told you this?
4.
And when
Almost
was
as though
this
they're
told?
walking
My child told
in
me
single file.
this was in the
Out
beginning.
at night.
And she was told by the student from University of Idaho?
3:12
The
in the
student's
morning.
girlfriend from
And as
University
you
of Idaho.
watch those four figures,
Okay.
remember,
Where did she get
police
that
say
information
the murders
from?
happened
My daughter
between
told me is that
3
she got it from the
and 4 in the
Oh, she got
morning.
it from the sorority.
Did those people
Yeah, she got it from the
see
sorority.
something?
That's what she told me.
Who are they? Have police
the
tracked them down, asked them any questions, ruled them out? And again, if they're ruled out, did they see something as they were on foot, walking just steps away from where the murders happened? We do not have the answers to this, any of it. But as usual, our senior national correspondent, Brian Enton, is live on the case. And tonight he is standing in that exact location, right where that body cam action took place. So Brian, for us looking at it on television, it's hard to get the exact perspective of where the officers were standing, what direction their body cams were pointing, and where those 4 mysterious figures were walking from and to, and how far away they were from the actual murder scene. So can you take me there and help us get a feel?
Yeah, it's very confusing when you're looking at the body camera video, so hopefully we can give you some perspective. This is Band Field. This is where the alcohol call came in. The young men were here in the field when the police first showed up. That is the Sigma Chi fraternity house right there. So the police walked those young men across the street. This is Taylor Avenue, right to this spot right here. I was able to identify it because of the fire extinguisher. And they were standing in this spot, the young men, and the body camera video was pointed this way. And it is over my shoulder where you could see very faintly what looked like several people walking faster, almost running by in the background. And I want to walk you over, Ashley, and give you a little more perspective. It was somewhere in this area right here. And we can tell because we analyzed these lights of this little apartment building. It was somewhere right in this area. There's another big apartment building here. The question you might be having is, how close is this to the house where the murders happened? Mo is going to point in that direction. Our producer is up there. She's going to flash a flashlight, Ashley. You see that flashlight flashing right there? That is right in front of the house where the murders happened. So it's all very, very close.
So what we're effectively seeing is, like, if my eyes don't deceive me, about 200 yards.
And she was told by the student from University of Idaho?
The student's girlfriend from University of Idaho.
Okay, so where did she get that information from?
My daughter told me is that she got it from the high-five.
Oh, she got it from the sorority.
Yeah, she got it from the sorority. That's what she told me at the time.
You wake up in the morning on November 13th. Can you just describe your day?
So I don't remember like exactly when I woke up. I just remember like waking up and opening up my Snapchat, and there were dozens of Snapchat messages in all the group chats. And I just remember like, oh, this is kind of whack. And then like I got up and I was like getting ready for work, and then like when I kind of like woken up a little bit more, I started to go through them because I did not want to have to read a lot of shit early in the morning. And then yeah, I ended up like I was just sitting there scrolling through it, and then yeah, opened up the messages, and then there it was. It was like, holy shit, did you guys hear about what happened? Like blah 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 blah. And I'm scrolling up, and there's just, I mean, lines and lines and lines of text. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's awake. I mean, and this is before 9:30 on a Sunday, and I remember that because I had to go to work, and I ended up not going because I wanted to be with my brothers, right? Kind of obvious. But yeah, and like I don't remember what exact time I woke up, but I remember like, yeah, we were all talking about it, we all knew about it, and like my boss and my coworkers were texting me later, you know, asking me like if everything was okay, and they had even heard about things. They heard like it was a shooting and stuff like that. So and yeah, it was kind of weird because like at the beginning everyone said like at the beginning, like the very first messages where people were talking about the stabbings, or like a stabbing had occurred. And then it changed to an OD, and it was just kind of weird. Like looking back on it, it changed to an OD so quickly, and like nobody questioned it, and like we didn't question it either because we knew there were drugs in that house, and like just genuinely thought like, okay, they got a bad batch, and that's just what happened, right? Because you see it on the news. It happens in bigger cities.
So you said you had to go to work, and you said you had to be to work at 9:30. So this would have happened before, like you got to work.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this was definitely, and it was like I don't know, 5-10 minute drive to work, and like I had to like get ready too. So you're talking like well before 9 o'clock in the morning at least.
Hi, Heather Roberts with ABC News. Just to follow up on what she asked, so the other two roommates were there at the time of the attack?
All the information that we have from our investigation is that yes, they were.
Okay, but they were unhurt.
That is correct.
So is there any explanation as to why it took so long then for someone to call 911? You have surviving witnesses to an incident at 3 or 4 in the morning, and the 911 call didn't come until noon?
I don't think I ever said that they were witnesses. I said they were there. So, you know, we don't know why that call came in at noon and not in the middle of the night. Would have we loved for that to have happened? Yes, but that's not how it took place. So.
The ring camera of the neighbors could tell you why it didn't and who was coming and going from the house that night. The camera's going to have all these other people on it, but is there going to be Brian Koberger? 8 to 9 a.m., Dave waking up to loads of Snapchats saying, did you hear what happened last night? The shooting mentioned just like what Christy had heard. Snapchat group messages were Christy and Dave's sources. 9 a.m., Christy would be calling her niece, or would be getting that call from her niece, Sabrina, bawling, saying Kaylee was shot. But let's back up to the first timeline, 3:38 a.m.
A big break in the case, a grainy image of a speeding car that could be the white Hyundai Elantra police are looking for. A night manager at this gas station in Moscow, Idaho, discovered surveillance video that showed a white sedan driving by on the night the 4 University of Idaho students were murdered. The timestamp says 3:45 a.m., right in the time frame in which police say the killings took place. The video has been handed over to police. It shows the car traveling on this road outside the gas station. It's just 1.2 miles from the house where the students were murdered.
Who's out at 3:45 a.m. speeding? And this is significant, Harris, very significant. In a town...
Let me just tell you how significant, Nancy. The person that committed the theft burglary at the apartments on Main Street, it's now called Republic on Main, called Identity back in the day, featured a 911 call that went out at 3:38 a.m. .802 Troy is where the gas station is. .345 seen on that camera. The 911 call was at 3:38 a.m. was for a theft department. Steiner Al would be mentioned in the VCA. So would 700 Indian Hills block. A.m. alleged Kaylee's house. 2:47 a.m. phone is offline. Someone leaves Main Street apartment in white tinted window car. 3:38 a.m. Someone at apartments on Main Street calls cops. 3:41 Alontra looking drives by the King Road house, dropping someone else off. This will all be continued. The 3:30 a.m. Venmo transaction has to do with the 3:38 911 call as well. See you soon.